Are we rolling? Yes, we are. What's up, guys? It's McKinley Crain here, and today I'm going to be doing my spoiler-free movie review of a movie that I just recently saw, and I've also read the screenplay for the screenplay, aka like the book, which this movie is based on. By the way, this is a 1996 film. The film I'm going to be reviewing is The Crucible. So basically this takes place in the late 17th century, and I'm pretty sure it's actually based on a true story. I don't think it's like 100% accurate, but I know it's based on a true story. It's like loosely based on a true story, I think. The reason why this is a spoiler-free review rather than just a review is because, it's not like common knowledge. It's not like, like a historical film that, everybody knows about, and, that, every educated, every person, every person ever, knows about. You know what I'm saying? If this were like if this were like Titanic or something, everybody knows what happened to the flipping Titanic. So if I were to be reviewing that movie, I wouldn't put spoiler free. I just put review, because everybody knows what happens. But the Crucible might be based on a true story, but it's not common knowledge or anything, widespread common knowledge about what happened. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a famous story, or well, it is a famous story actually. It is a famous story, but you know what I mean. It's not like something that everybody knows. Not everybody knows what happened back then, and what happens in the book, aka the screenplay for the original play, or the movie. So yeah, that's why it's a spoiler-free movie review rather than just a review. Anyway, so this movie stars it has two main characters. It has the hero of the story, aka the protagonist, John Proctor, who is played by Daniel Day-Lewis. And the second main character is the villain, aka the antagonist of this movie, Abigail Williams, who is played by Winona Ryder. And they both, in my opinion, the best characters, the most spot-on characters in this movie were those two, Abigail Williams and John Proctor. It's only a good performance. They only gave good performances overall. But there are moments in this movie where they give great performances. Yeah, but it's mostly just good performances. I think, honestly, John Proctor, aka Daniel Day-Lewis, because he's played by Daniel Day-Lewis, Daniel Day-Lewis does the better job in this movie, even though Winona Ryder is pretty good too. The whole cast is good, but those two are the the most spot on, like, those are the two best performances of in this movie. Reverend Hale's performance is like a close third. Anyway, so in this movie, like, it's about, like, the Salem witch trials, and so basically, the villain Abigail Williams gets busted for, like, dancing in the woods and, like, doing, like, witchcraft or whatever. And, basically, she gets away with it. And another thing in the story is that Abigail and John had a past affair. And, they weren't, like, together anymore. John Proctor had ended that. And John Proctor was also married. So, yeah, he was keeping... they were keeping that a secret, and then, like, John Proctor ended it, and of course he told his wife and everything, but, he was just keeping that a secret. And so, basically, in this movie, the whole plot of this movie is, like, Abigail Williams wants, like, Elizabeth Proctor dead, so she can, like, because she thinks that if she does that, she and John can be together. And, Elizabeth gets accused of witchcraft and stuff like that, and they have to, like, and John Proctor has to, like, try to, clear everything up, like, prove that his wife is innocent, prove that a whole bunch of other people are innocent, and prove that, like, Abigail Williams and a couple other people are, like, not innocent and are guilty. And it's a pretty good movie. The story's good, it's just not great. Everything in this movie is, like, just good. It's not a great movie, but it is a good movie. So I actually like this better than the book, aka the screenplay. I just think that the movie, like, does a better job of, like, putting its point out there and, like, making you, like, like, get into the story, if you know what I mean. But the book's still good too, aka the screenplay. It's still good too, just not as good. Anyway, I'm going to give this movie an 80% out of 100%, which is the equivalent of a B-. Like, subscribe, join the notification squad, I will return.